the work habits of Michael Caine. He is an extreme professional. You know, he's done it. He's been doing it for a very long time, and he knows what he's doing. And so it's very. He's in and out. He comes to the job fully prepared. He knows exactly what he's doing. He doesn't make any fuss. He doesn't fart around. He doesn't make any demands. He's very easygoing, incredibly polite, incredibly sweet, affable, no nonsense, comes in, does it, and leaves. You know, is kind of inspiring in that way. I mean, and you know, it's so interesting, and it's such a sort of privilege getting to see someone like that act and be really right up the closest person to them when they're performing in a role like this, to be right there, the person that they're talking to as they're acting. And what I kept being amazed by was how kind of, you know, like bold in a way, like badass, basically. His choices were that he was not, I mean, it's a different, I mean, my generation, I think, of actors, it's all about sort of, you know, trying to be as real as you possibly can, and kind of, and sometimes sometimes you deprive yourself of kind of real, of movie moments, you know, because you're so busy trying to be sort of natural and real, and someone like Michael Caine does all that without even thinking. It's, you know, he's completely real and natural. He's not making a big thing about being so, but he also knows how to have his kind of rock and roll moments, you know, where, and I can remember seeing that moment in the bar towards the end of the film where, you know, he sort of, you know, bent over, double breathing, you know, asthmatic breathing, and then something suddenly kind of gets him, and he, you know, and he just stands up to his full height and becomes this kind of killing machine, literally in one shot. And it's like, it's extreme, and you think, my God, that's so brave. You really kind of, yeah, I don't know, that's just badass. And I felt constantly impressed and amazed by that he really knows how to sort of play his moments and you know, take up the space of the shot, and it was kind of such a privilege getting to see him act. But he's also he's a giggler, and and it takes one to know one. I'm a giggler too, and it's awful actually when you realise that someone else is and has that propensity, because then forever after you're just constantly dreading something that's going to set you both off. And it happened in this movie to me because I got this crick neck, you know, I got this whiplash I was meant to have had as a result of the car crash that we had, and this stunt guy in the movie, you know, working on the film, told me that if I had indeed, you know, got this whiplash, I would be supporting my neck constantly with my hand. You know, it would be extremely painful, and I would never, ever, on any account, take my hand off my neck. So I'd be in such terrible pain, and I got so scared by the thought that I might forget to take my hand, you know, to keep my hand to my neck, that I kept it there the entire time. And the stuntman went off on another job and left me there, and I was like, oh my God, the stuntman's not here to remind me. I've got to just remind myself that I've got to not ever take my hand off my neck. So I would keep it there. I kept it there for days on end. I would, you know, I'd be just sort of eat my lunch with my hand on my leg. And Michael, you know, whenever he came into a room, there I was. I'd be sitting on the corner of the set drinking a cup of tea with my hand on my neck. Like, would you bloody take your hand off your neck? What do you think you're doing? And it got to the point where it just would crack him up whenever he saw me. And then, of course, it came to the point where we would actually have to shoot a scene, and I'd be there like that, looking at him with my hand on my neck, and he'd start to go, and I'd start to go, and it was awful. Endless takes of us just pissing ourselves laughing because I had my stupid hand on my neck the whole time.